Yeh Ratzon, Parshat Bamidbar, Erev Shavuot, 5785. The learning should be Refuat Kol HaCholim, for the Atzlacha of all the Chayalim, for the bringing home of every one of the Chatufim, and for the ability for us to believe deeply in redemption. When Rabbeinu Rav Shaul said that one of the questions we have to think about going into this Shabbat is that Bamidbar, the Parsha, is always before Shavuot. And therefore the obvious question being, what's the connection between Parashat Bamidbar and Shavuot? And I think that in order to answer this question, we have to ask another question about Shavuot. And the question about Shavuot is, all year, we have an obligation to learn Yomam Valayla. We say Kriyat Shema in the minimum at night and at day. And if you don't understand the depth of it, you can learn Rabbi Tzadok with Rav Ariel Sturman in Tel Aviv. So we all learn Torah. Comes the night of Shavuot and we're like, oh, let's learn Torah. And you say to yourself, Ribono Shel Olam, if I'm learning all year and I'm learning again tonight, how is that at all anything to do with special? It's just regular. And I think to answer that question, we'll remind ourselves the tefillah of Rosh Hashanah. In the tefillah of Rosh Hashanah, in Zichronot, we said that we have to remember that you came lilamed Torah le'amo Yisrael. That we have to remember that there's something called a teacher. And that what happened at Har Sinai is not that we learned, but that we learned from. That the first time we learned is to remind us why from now on we'll learn for the rest of our lives. Because Hashem was our teacher. Lilamed Torah le'amo Yisrael, we say in the Tefillah of Rosh Hashanah. And if we forget Shavuot, we might better off not learn Torah at all. The idea of Shavuot is to remind us that the idea of the Torah that is in front of us is that it was given to us by what's called an Abba, a loving teacher, a guider, a coach, someone that saw your entire life and wanted to give you supervision, wanted to give you guidance. How many of us, when we open up a book, feel like we're being talked to from Hashem? How often do we feel like a machloket that we're learning is a direct relationship and conversation that Hashem is giving over to us? And I think this will go back to the first question. So just to summarize, the idea of Shavuot is that it's different, not because of what we're doing, but the timing that we're doing it. We're doing it at a certain time that reminds us that Hashem wants to be our teacher. He did not want us to see the book as the end. He wanted us to see it as the means, as the beginning. And so why is Parshat Bamidbar the introduction to Ma'amad Har Sinai? And going into Parshat Bamidbar, we learn that Am Yisrael had flags. And the idea of a flag was that every 3 tribes would walk with one flag. And that flag had a different color and a different direction. And everything about it was different. But the idea of these flags was that they were coming to remind us that if Hashem is your center, then all the things on the sides actually will last forever. Your food could become a bracha. Your house can become a mikdash. Your table could become the shulchan. The candles of your Shabbat can be the menorah. The idea of a flag is that it's saying that the random becomes special. And all year our learning could be random if we don't have a flag. If we don't have Shavuot as our flag, the flag is write a tefillah in your learning. The flag is a daf of Gemara. The flag is write an article. The flag is translate the idea into Derech Eretz. And my tefillah and bracha to every one of us going into this week is that we can find our flag. The guidance that we're not just doing something normal. That normal is good if it's connected to something called forever. Am Yisrael is forever. Eretz Yisrael is forever. Torah Yisrael is forever. And I daven for every one of my Talmidim that are going into their last moments in their journeys of their first year of learning, is to feel that this first year becomes a flag of something that is forever. And that it will guide them that from now on, every random is actually special and full of purpose. Shabbat Shalom.